Ethnic studies, it's mandatory as early as 9th grade in San Francisco public schools.
It's been so controversial there that the district was about to scrap it, but now there's a plan to review it and make some changes.
ABC 7 News Building a Better Bay Area reporter Leanne Melendez is here with a look at the program that has been described as problematic.
And that word was used 4 times by the superintendent during our 15-minute interview. So here's the issue. Ethnic studies is a graduation requirement in California high schools, except that as of this year, the legislature and Governor Gavin Newsom decided the state would no longer fund ethnic studies. It was costly and controversial. Now, here in San Francisco, even the superintendent agrees what started out with good intentions became problematic.
When they talk about dominating, who do you think they are dominating?
Activism is part of America's core identity. It's how people demand change.
We're here to fight back.
Most often for the greater good. In June 2020, a massive student-led protest following the murder of George Floyd was later applauded by one of the coordinators of the Ethics Studies program at San Francisco Unified.
We are seeing, and we're trying to highlight for our students, that people and throughout history, young folks are at the center of those movements, and we want to kind of lift that up so young people feel a sense of power to make things better in the present and in the future.
At the time, San Francisco Unified was moving fast to implement more racial awareness programs. School district leaders underwent intensive coaching. Here's how the district explained it.
We said every leader this year has to lead at least 3 conversations with their staff around race.
And that has never happened.
We've never put out that expectation before.
Then in March 2021, the school board voted to make ethnic studies a mandatory requirement for all high school students beginning in 2024. Once again, San Francisco was trying to set an example for the rest of the nation. Laura Espino is a high school teacher.
Having an ethics studies course allows them to expand on the ideas that are already being introduced in many other subjects.
But some parents argued that things quickly began to change, from teaching racial awareness to, in some cases, pushing a political agenda. Shortly after taking office last October, the superintendent began hearing complaints from the school community.
There were some things about our ethnic studies curriculum that did not align with the curriculum itself.
Could you give me some examples of those so-called some things that were not aligned?
There are teachers who took liberties to add additional context to a lesson plan.
But even the material in the form of slides was noticeably troubling. In order to explain anti-Semitism, images of Jewish stereotypes were used, showing a man with a big nose. There were no positive images of Jews, only to point out that Drake, the singer, was African American and Jewish. A teacher at Washington High School had a Free Palestine poster on her classroom door.
What we actually found was that these materials were teaching kids to be oppressors or victims, and then how to resist that through particular activism. And so what they were learning in the classroom, we were seeing a direct line with how students were treating each other.
Vivian Safran told us other parents are afraid to come forward.
They are scared to be labeled.
Labeled what?
That they may be seen as intolerant when actually they do want their children to learn about complex and diverse histories.
Even Attorney General Rob Bonta became concerned with the recent rise in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, issuing a rare legal alert to all school districts. Quote, care must be taken not to blame any racial, ethnic, or religious group for the actions of a government. Bonta goes on to say, quote, schools must always strive to present factual and unbiased information, whether discussing communities or countries.
So what else did you not get in terms of information on the
program? That's a great question. I would like to know that.
Lainey Mutamati had been a newly appointed, then elected San Francisco School Board Commissioner. She never received a copy of Bonta's legal alert. In fact, Mutamati says she was never given any details of the program by then Superintendent Matt Wayne or anyone in the school district.
We were never briefed or provided any materials about what that would look like, what staff was contemplating, or when it would be implemented.
The controversy surrounding some ethnic studies programs in California reached the state capitol.
Children are being taught to demonize Jews and being taught that Jews are violent colonial invaders.
In May of this year, the legislature voted unanimously to ensure that the curriculum and textbooks are free from anti-Semitism, holding school districts accountable. But for some parents, making ethnic studies a mandatory course limits the number of elective slots they can choose from in high school.
Well, many colleges, while they don't say it, require 4 years of a language. And so that's one of the electives. And then most kids only have one more elective to choose from.
For their son, that second course would have to be study skills.
This is problematic.
Lucy Ho's daughter also has to take study skills as a student of special needs. She says to improve her chances of getting into a top university, the only option is to give up a language, in this case, Japanese.
My daughter, she took Japanese all throughout elementary school, middle school, and she still wants to continue it through high school.
Ho was concerned about showing her face on camera, fearing retaliation from a parent.
She was calling me a racist.
A racist?
She was calling me racist, yes.
Despite these complaints, some high school teachers and families defended the program, which they say is popular among students. In order to reach a compromise, Dr. Su announced a new ethnic studies pilot program to be approved by the board on July 29th and then tested in the next 6 to 8 months.
I understand it's a pilot program, and that's great, but we don't experiment on our children.
And at the end of that process, we will then bring back to the board a proposal for a permanent curriculum that will then be in place for the following school year.
That includes a new textbook used by other school districts. Sue is convinced that in these polarized times, the ethnic studies curriculum is essential to all San Francisco public high school students. And this time, she assured us, there will be greater oversight.
We want to teach a curriculum that is aligned to state standards and our own board policy. So this is the plan that we're putting in place for our students next year.
And according to SFUSD, the cost to replace the textbook and materials will be about $100,000 in added expense for a district which just made massive budget cuts to balance its budget and is expected to receive fewer federal dollars under the Trump administration. Now, one of the things that parents don't realize, this is 1 year, by the way. It's not one semester, it's a whole year. They can take ethnic studies in their sophomore year or junior year, but many parents believe it shouldn't be mandatory.
I mean, there are other school districts in the Bay Area that do mandate it, you know, maybe freshman year, and also with a lot a input.
Sure.
I think that's where you get in trouble when the communication wasn't there about the content.
Exactly.
Feels like it's going to be hard to get everybody on the same page.
Right.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks,
Leanne.
Leanne.